Interesting game the other night. I think it's showed some toughness on our guys' part. Not only to be down 18, but to cut it to 4 and then fall down 16 again, and continue to fight your way back. It was obviously a tale of two halves, but obviously when we do things right, we held them to 1-3 in the second half. And again, the 1-3 they made was off a mistake. And so I thought we were much more in tune on the defensive side in the second half of that basketball game. We had Columbus against a team that they've shut Zed down. Obviously, a very big part of what they have done, but now they're a very different team. And this is still a very, very talented team. Maybe the elite freshmen in our league, especially from the offensive side of things. And then I think this is a team that played exceptionally hard. They played everybody extremely close at home. And we're going to have to go in and play exceptionally well and play very, very hard to beat this team.
What's the next day film review of a game like Thursday, where you have maybe two just completely different halves of basketball?
That's all it was. It was two different halves, and we did nothing yesterday. We gave our guys a day off, so today will be that day. Yeah, it's just shocking. It's how bad we were. Literally how bad we were in the first half, and then how you're really proud and excited because of how tough you were and how resilient you were. And yet when you do most everything right, the mental mistakes in the second half were very small compared to the first half, where that's all it was, were mental mistakes. And it's amazing when you play hard and you get engaged on the defensive side, how the ball finds a way to go through the bottom of the net. 0 for 11 the first half coincides with mistakes and lack of consistent effort, and then hair on fire, mentally focused, the ball finds the bottom of the net. And I thought we were, I was concerned at halftime that we had 19 points. How do you score enough points against a very low possession team in Northwestern? And we scored 47. And so it just goes to show how mental this game is, and the approach that you have to play with your hair on fire.
Say you go small, it's still a big lineup that you guys have. What do you like about what you're able, when you put Coleman at the 5 and put it out and maybe run a little bit? So.
Yeah, it's our most. There's no doubt we're very, very effective offensively when we're small. Our OER is a good amount higher. Now we're not as effective defensively as well, so it's kind of the catch-22. But I think with Sincere, we get great pace. With Coleman, we get great pace. Our pace picks up. I mean, our ability to get easy baskets. I thought that they cross-matched. They put Max on tie, allowed us to create some matchups and get downhill. And that was our main goal, was just touch the paint every time against them. And we just we got a series we like to run, and we got downhill and we started spraying it. And it's amazing when you touch that paint. And you have 1.4 OER when we had paint touches in that game, and all of a sudden 3 start to go in.
So what's the balance when knowing?
It's hard. It's feel, and it's the matchups. It's the game. There's no doubt we'll have to play it tomorrow. They're playing very small, playing Brown at the 5 a lot, playing likely at the 5 in terms of matchups. But again, for us, it's still ball movement. Putting guys in spaces that they can touch the paint. And that's how you shoot percentages and have the OER that we had in the second half.
What does it maybe mean to have that in your back pocket, where you can maybe shift gears like 180 and do something completely different?
Yeah, it's been very good for us all year. You throw. He's waiting on me to try to look at him, but he doesn't know my periphery is just elite right now. So something he needs to work on is great peripheral vision. But I don't think it's in our back pocket. I think it's very much in our front pocket. Knowing that you can change the pace of a game. Bring Sincere in, bring Coleman in. Put Ty in different positions where he's a ball handler or not a ball handler, and move him. So, as those freshmen are starting to grow up, and Sincere and Ty both made huge plays in that game, getting the ball into the paint and getting to the rim. That adds a dimension for us. And then all of a sudden that opens up Terrence and Matt and Coleman. Coleman had a tough night shooting it, but he got good looks. So, it's in the front pocket. It's not in the back pocket.
Coleman, to me, and what a lot of you guys do for that lineup, he feels like the trigger just with his ability to do all those things in the fight. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean that's our advantage, is having Coleman be able to set screens and blur screens and make passes and reads and I still get frustrated with him when he turns open shots down, but again, his mindset is facilitate, and he does a great job of that. And he made a big drive late in the shot clock and just gave a little pump fake and got him to leave the ground. So it's advantageous for us, and Coleman's really good at that.
Finally getting Terrence back and Luke kind of seemed like your whole or close to one of the first times this season. What does that kind of mean for you guys?
No, it is the first time we've been since the first few practices. From game standpoint, just to makes practices better. Our practices are way more competitive when we've got everybody. We're not, we're able to build a little bit of a routine and a pattern, having guys healthy, and I'm excited for today's practice because it's truly the first true practice we've had everybody. So that helps our team. Everybody's got, it's like having all the pieces of the puzzle. When you don't have them, you see that hole in the middle, of the puzzle, and that's what this season's been like because of all those injuries and different guys being out. So, it's I guess it's good, never too late. So, they'll all help us win games.
I guess then with younger pieces, kind of Ty and all the freshman years ago, had to step up, then kind of without the team pull. Has there been any, silver lining, kind of maybe advantage to just having to play kind of piecemeal things last couple months?
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to try to find some silver lining. You never know till you're actually whole what it looks like and how it impacts. But you get comfortable one way, and something goes down. Terrence goes down, and you've got to move pieces, and so I think the versatility. I think the beauty of the other night was we were tough. There was a toughness that started to develop. We weren't very tough early in the year. I had more people call and talk about how tough we were. And, not only to come from 18 down, but to come from 16 down. That very rarely happens. And this team's toughness is starting to show. That's probably the biggest silver lining in all of the craziness that's happened this year, and with people being out. So I'll take that as we head into March.
Just part of what I said, you said looking different is Chris is playing 4 freshmen in starting lineup. Just what does that maybe look like?
Yeah, they're really talented. One of them's going to be one of the top draft picks in June. Bryce has had a great year. We're starting to see a maturity in their group as well. They're playing exceptionally hard. Thornton's turning into, he's a much better player now than he was the first time we played him. A guy that can really get going scoring the ball. Akpara is a shot blocker, defender. So it's a team that's just continuing to grow, and Chris is a heck of a coach, and they do a great job developing guys, and they're never short on talent, and all those freshmen are really talented.